kind of cartoons or movies on television? Do you think that this kind of content on TV are funny or are exciting? If you have ever seen this kind of content, do you remember at what time there were or are transmitted? I used to think that this kind of content are funny, but one day in the primary school where I studied, a boy took his father's knife and stabbed one of his classmates. The reason was that he saw the film Scream movie, and that day he was playing with his friends acting as in the movie. He stabbed 2 times his classmate on the stomach, and that boy was seriously in the hospital for a long time. Fortunately, the boy was safe and everything was a bad memory, but not all histories end that way. Maybe a person who you love or somebody from your family might be a victim for the violence present in children, mostly caused by the media. How many times have you ever seen this kind of cartoons or movies? Today I'd like to persuade you about that the producers or the people in charge to their content on TV must control this kind of content, like the sexual and violent content on television. Also, I'd like to talk with you about the advantages and the consequences of this kind of content and what happens if we control it. Currently, parents let their children to watch the television without supervision, and they just let the remote control to watch everything what they want. According to the Department of Justice in Mexico, 1 to the 5% of the homicides in Mexico are in schools by children. How many times have you ever heard about children of 13 to 15 years old killing or trying to kill somebody from the school, or even their own family? Or how many times have you ever heard about children of 12 or 15 years old having sex? Violence and sexual content on television is a big problem in our society because it changes our behavior. Some people in this classroom said that this kind of content is not bad because we have to distinguish between the bad or the good, or we have to distinguish what is real and unreal. But according to the Department of Psycho-Educational of the UNAM, said that a person will be able to distinguish between what is unreal or unreal until the 17 years old without this kind of content affect them. Do you think that these are enough reasons to control it? Also, children tend to imitate everything that they see, including the television. According to CNN, in 2013, there were at least 15 cartoons that show inappropriate content, including sexual violence, racism, homosexuality, and also suicidal tendencies. Producers must be controlled and they have to establish this type type of content in a time suitable for us, and in partnership with parents to prevent as much as possible the children watch this kind of content. If producers must control this kind of content, stories like the boy at the beginning of my speech of cases of violence in schools and in homes will be decreased. You see that this kind of content is not funny at all when you see the consequences. And remember the words of David Grossman. Today, the data linking to the violence in the media, to the violence and the society, are superior to those who link the cancer with tobacco.